Smile! We're headed to Macy's Backstage.
And did you hear about the new Backstage Scratch Win Smile game?
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
Right! Make any $25 Backstage purchase now through Saturday, December 2nd,
And score a Scratch Win Smile game card.
you're guaranteed to win a $1, $5, $10, or $25 prize.
To redeem at Macy's Backstage at a later date.
Scratch and win.
What's not to smile about? Macy's Backstage. Savings for everyday life. Details at macysbackstage.com.
Welcome to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis. Today is Friday, November 24th, 2017. Launching off into UFOs. 3 videos were submitted with a UFO report to the MUFON, Mutual UFO Network, on November 9th, 2017. The report came from Moore, Oklahoma, and the alleged sighting occurred that same day. The witness claims to have seen the objects around 5:15 p.m. while picking up a child after school. The videos were captured by cell phone. The objects were described as square and dark and tumbling as they rise higher into the sky. The report was titled, "Two Objects Floating in the Air." The witness reported verbatim, "I was picking my son up from school at his school in Moore, Oklahoma, around 5:15 p.m. or so. We came outside and saw 2 dark objects rising in the air. They were tumbling as they floated up in the air. They kept going up. The look square and dark. I took some video with my cell phone. The objects appear to be silently rising into the air and tumbling as they gain altitude. They do also appear to be square-shaped, although balloons are typically round. Party balloons can come in all shapes and sizes. Could these just be balloons that have gotten loose?" Still image of the objects seen in Oklahoma are shown. The vast majority of UFO sightings turn out to be mundane objects, but once in a while there are sightings that are much more difficult to explain. MUFON conducts investigations on such sightings submitted to their website, and they sometimes share their conclusions. Next UFO sighting. On the morning of October 23rd, the witness states, "My long-time source, JP, a pseudonym, was once again instructed to look up into the sky by a nearby covert operative where he saw a rectangle, platform-shaped UFO. He used his camera phone to take 5 photos of the UFO. He then noticed that he had missing time, and when he tried to recall what had happened, he had memory flashes of being inside this flying rectangle he had just photographed. Here is the Skype message I received from JP at 4:49 a.m. Hawaii time. 9:30 a.m., 30 minutes lost time. It was 10:08 when I get back to the same position where I was doing the pictures today. A white mini work van with 2 guys, black baseball hats, black sunglasses. He pulled over in front of me and told me to look up. And they left really fast, like you can really hear the tires. A platform ship really near it swooped up fast. When I knew it, it got my attention. I was getting flashes on and off of me being inside of this ship and looking down on the area where I was. In these flashes I remember being cold, really cold inside. The guys told me to look up. I saw the ship really close, and then I saw the guys leaving really fast, and I saw the ship swoop up. When they told me to look up, it was like 9:30. I'm guessing when I was taking the photos of the ship, it was already 10:05 or 10:08 a.m. I could still smell inside the ship. It smelled similar when you have a lot of coins in your hands. It's that copper smell. That's it. Copper, copper, copper. Beautiful ship. Amazing maneuvering. Cradling, it went back into the clouds. What follows is a video featuring the 5 photos with zooms on the flying rectangle as it closes in on its approach, which show some interesting features underneath it. JP estimated that the length of the flying rectangle was about 4 school buses, about 40 to 50 yards, and its width was 1.5 school buses, about 15 to 20 meters. He said that the distinct copper smell was likely related to its anti-gravity drive or some other aspect of its propulsion system. JP sketch of corridor inside the flying rectangle platform. JP recalls being inside of the flying rectangle where he was walking down a corridor with windows that he could see out of. He said outside the window it was completely black, and he got the impression that the rectangle was flying in space. He provided a rough sketch of the corridor showing some of the internal features of the craft. In addition, JP says that he remembered being injected with something, presumably a mind control substance, so he would cooperate. He shared a photo of an inflamed reddish area of his upper forearm where he was injected. Upper arm showing area where substance was injected. He felt some dizziness, but the effect quickly wore off, as did the reddish discoloration of the affected area. Furthermore, JP said that the interior of the rectangle craft looked and smelled like a military vehicle. Most importantly, he recalled a military patch worn by his abductors, which had a red dot and 2 wings. He first sketched the patch he witnessed and passed on a copy to me. Hours later, after further mutual discussion, he found it online. The patch belongs to Air Force Special Operations. The Air Force patch suggests that the occupants of the craft were part of a squadron of such vehicles operating out of the nearby MacDill Air Force Base, Tampa, headquarters of the Special Operations Command, which provides the command structure for Air Force Special Operations. It is rare for an experiencer or abductees to take photos of the craft that had abducted him or her. This is most often due to the effects of sedatives or mind control used on them. Yet in the case of JP, he was prodded to look in the sky by 2 operatives while still under the influence of the substance injected into him. What this indicates is that the operatives are part of an officially sanctioned covert program run by the United States Air Force Special Operations, which is helping JP's photograph the flying rectangle craft and recall his abduction experience on it. JP believes that the operatives came from MacDill Air Force Base, which is very close to where he lives and where the photos were taken. JP has previously described being befriended by a Special Forces serviceman from MacDill, telling him about covert operations involving flying triangles, one of which he pilots as part of a secret squadron. JP has previously spoken about being taken on these craft, of which he has provided a number of photos. The flying rectangle platform craft is a new type of anti-gravity vehicle witnessed by JP. It nevertheless is clear that senior officials at Air Force Special Operations and Special Operations Command want to disclose that the general public that they possess such vehicles, which have been secretly deployed in one or more highly classified squadrons. Flying rectangle sightings have been rare, but do exist. there was a sighting in Texas, October 2012, that was reported to MUFON. And here is what was reported. Another flying rectangle was reported to MUFON on March 30th, 2016, at Seattle, Washington. A further sighting occurred at Oroville, California, April 15th, 2017, which was again reported to MUFON. Most recently, on October 16th, 2017, a rectangle-shaped UFO was witnessed over the Tampa Bay region heading out to the Gulf of Mexico, according to another MUFON report. What needs to be pointed out is that in the 4 sightings of flying rectangles witnessed, none of the vehicles were photographed. The earliest known photo of a rectangle UFO was taken in August 1987. Alleged rectangle UFO taken in Federal Heights, Colorado. Lending further significance to JP's photos is that his related military abduction experience aboard the craft he photographed clearly suggests that these flying rectangles have been covertly deployed in squadrons which are fully operational and are operated by United States Air Force Special Operations in space. According to Secret Space Program insider Corey Goode, the rectangle craft are actually weapons platforms whose genesis he explains as follows. I think similar platforms or UFOs have been reported in the 80s and 90s as they were first building out of these platforms that have modular weapons and personnel delivery systems or configurations. They were built up on that superstructure type frame a long time ago, and they have been unimproved upon since. But these are pretty old technologies, both the TR-3B and the square platform. It's crazy. All of this is happening not 6 months after I announced this on a radio show. Now, based on the circumstances surrounding this abduction and being prompted by covert operatives to look at the sky, it can be concluded that the rectangle platforms photographed by JP are part of a USA Air Force-run secret space program, which are deployed out of MacDill Air Force Base. The disclosure of these fully operational space-based platforms appears to have been sanctioned by senior officials from the United States Air Force Special Operations and Special Operations Command. Wow. Next up, the internet is abuzz with speculations regarding an erroneous unknown object hidden under the frozen wastes of Antarctica. Theories as to what it could be range from an asteroid to a Nazi UFO base to a getaway leading into Hollow Earth. But what on earth could this object be exactly? A massive anomaly has been discovered beneath the Antarctic ice in an area known as Wilkes Land. The area stretches across 151 miles and has a minimum depth of 2,700 feet. Called the Wilkes Land Gravity Anomaly, it was first spotted in 2006 by a team of scientists from Ohio State. The team made the discovery after NASA's GRACE satellites observed gravitational changes that implied the existence of a massive hidden object beneath the ice cap in the middle of a 300-mile wide impact crater. Some researchers believe the anomaly to be the remains of a huge asteroid, more than double the size of a cheek bleak space rock that wiped out the dinosaurs from 250 million years ago. If that's the case, this killer asteroid might have triggered the Permian-Triassic extinction event in which 96% of the Earth's sea creatures and up to 70% of the land-based vertebrates were killed. Speaking of the discovery, Ralph von Fries, a professor of geological sciences at Ohio State University, said in 2006, as Space.com reported, "This Wilkes Land impact is much bigger than the impact that killed the dinosaurs and probably would have caused catastrophic damage at the time." However, despite the above explanation, other scientists believe that the
Smile, we're headed to Macy's Backstage.
And did you hear about the new Backstage Scratch Win Smile game?
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
Right. Make any $25 Backstage purchase now through Saturday, December 2nd,
And score a Scratch Win Smile game card.
you're guaranteed to win a $1, $5, $10, or $25 prize.
To redeem at Macy's Backstage at a later date.
Scratch and win.
What's not to smile about? Macy's Backstage. Savings for everyday life. Details at macysbackstage.com.
Permian Triassic extinction was the result of volcanic activity rather than an asteroid. Regarding the unexplained Wilkes Land anomaly, Internet UFO Hunting Crew Secure Team 10 presented their wildest theories in a YouTube video. They claim the mysterious object lurking beneath the frozen wastes of Antarctica could be a secret UFO base built by the Nazis during World War II, or possibly, a portal leading underground into Hollow Earth. Some evidence of this has come to light in recent years, purporting to show various entrances built into the side of mountains that hold a saucer shape and are not to mention at a very high altitude. The narrator says in the video presented, "This begs the question, how exactly would you enter these entrances without something that could fly and that was the same shape as the entrance itself?" But according to Motherboard, a secret Nazi UFO base in Antarctica would be a totally insane thing to believe. The question remains, what on earth is this mysterious object exactly? Researchers say more work has to be done, such as collecting rock from the crater to confirm the finding. Now on to fascinating speculations. An organization of scientists, former military and law enforcement officials, and other professionals hope to bring science to bear in the search for answers to the UFO mystery. This story comes from October 27th of 2017. The Scientific Coalition for Ufology, or SCU, is formally launching today and hopes to bring the discipline and rigor of scientific analysis to the study of unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPS, also known as unidentified flying objects, UFOs. A group of scientists, former military and law enforcement officials, and other professionals, many of whom have decades of experience looking into UAPs, believe there are many unanswered questions and that a serious examination is warranted. SCU is composed of serious, dedicated researchers who do not merely gloss over this subject, but rather they dive into it, investigate it broadly, remain objective, and apply the scientific method and its principles to the study, explained SCU board member Rich Hoffman. "We seek to have formal peer-reviewed works being printed in journals, not tabloids." Hoffman is an IT professional and a senior engineer at U.S. Army Materiel Command. He has been researching UAP since 1964. Fellow board member Robert Powell explains why he feels an organization such as the SCU is necessary. Quote, "It is important that there exists a scientific organization that examines the UFO phenomena in a scientific and open-minded manner. There is too much silliness associated with this topic, when the core reality of the phenomenon has potentially real implications for society. An organization that can be trusted to provide the media with an impartial and scientific view of the phenomenon is needed. Amen to that. Robert Powell presenting at the International UFO Congress. Powell is retired from a career as a research and development lab and engineering manager. For several years, he served as the director of research and chair of the scientific board for an international volunteer UFO research organization. Powell adds, ultimately, we want to determine whether intelligent life exists elsewhere and whether it has visited our planet. We want scientists and investigators involved with our organization in as many varied fields as possible to affiliate with us in a common objective to scientifically study the UFO phenomenon. The SCU was first brought together as an impromptu group of researchers organized to examine a mysterious video captured by Homeland Security over Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. The group spent months looking into the technical aspects of the video and researching its provenance. In the end, it remains a controversial case, and one which the group could not solve. The video and the 162-page analysis of the case can be found at the SCU website, which is explorescu.org. They continue to examine this case and felt it would be helpful to bring in more professionals to put the same level of scrutiny to bear on the other UFO cases and to facilitate peer review of research papers on the topic. Our hope is that other scientists and professionals who also have a desire that may be developing or has laid dormant will connect with us, become an affiliate, and lend us their intellect and their interest in finding the best approach to the scientific study of this phenomenon, says Hoffman. Our desire is to build a worldwide coalition that will give us the answers we have long been seeking. What is the nature of the phenomena that we call UFOs? A still image from the video captured over Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. Headlines have been ablaze lately with the news of a creation of a similar effort by rocker Tom DeLonge, formerly of the band Blink-182. The SCU has already made inroads with that organization and others around the world in an effort to work together on serious research of UAPs. As for what sets the SCU apart from other organizations, board member Alejandro Rojas says, although we do not have a rock star in our group, the SCU is made up of rock stars in the UFO research field. Besides, reaching out to DeLonge's to the Stars Academy, the SCU has created relationships with other credible organizations, including the Center for UFO Studies, or CUFOS, which was created by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, consultant to United States Air Force official UFO studies from 1947 to 1969. Quote, our team of scientists and professionals is growing, says Hoffman. We believe that the minds we bring together can help us solve the mystery. We have already put to use the team approach to study the Aguadilla, Puerto Rico case and are applying this in our study of luminous phenomenon in Cloverdale, Alabama. It is through the reach back to qualified scientists and professionals that we aim to do a better job of actually studying this phenomena scientifically. About the Scientific Coalition for Ufology, this is the mission abstract: to conduct, promote, and encourage rigorous scientific examination of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, commonly known as unidentified flying objects, UFOs. to fully utilize scientific principles, methodologies, and practices in the study of unidentified aerial phenomena observed and reported around the globe. We provide scientific case analysis, support to witness cases, other scientific organizations, and government entities who are looking for the certitude of facts to this phenomenon. We seek to share credible data with the public, the media, the government, and the scientific institutions so we can further our understanding of this enigmatic phenomenon. The Scientific Coalition for Ufology, SCU, is a think tank of scientists, researchers, and professionals stretching across organizations, governments, and industries to scientifically and publicly explore unknown anomalous phenomena known around the world as UFOs, USOs, UAPs, OVNIs, etc. SCU performs research and scientific studies concerning evidentiary, military, technological, and cultural effects of unknown phenomena around the world. We must take the first step to objectively understand the phenomena without bias or prejudice. Contributors within SCU include individuals from organizations around the world in the UFO, UAP field, militaries, governments, private industry, and media. Every case SCU conducts is presented objectively and scientifically to the public through peer review. All contributors are appointed based on professional and educational background. No membership exists. No dues are collected. All work within SCU is conducted under strong guidelines and standards. What a switch. Very, very cool. Now creeping into the paranormal with a brief story. The witness states, not sure if this is considered paranormal, but when I get fevers as a child, I would always, in my fog and pain-infused state, hear a man counting in a very deep voice. He would count from 1 and up. As the numbers get larger, the voice gets louder and more intense. It started to get less frequent as I grew older, and now I do not experience it anymore. I brushed it aside as a recurring nightmare, until only recently. I've learned that my sister would experience the exact same thing when she was younger as well. It's not the scariest thing, but it does send shivers down my spine trying to comprehend this. Wow. Thank you all for listening to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis. Be sure to check out ufoheadlinenews.com so you can see these stories and more, and links to photos and videos. And also to visit theoutlanderscomic.com and HeidiHollis.com. Remember, always to keep informed and inspired. Have a great rest of your day.
Smile, we're headed to Macy's Backstage.
And did you hear about the new Backstage Scratch Win Smile game?
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
Right. Make any $25 Backstage purchase now through Saturday, December 2nd.
And score a Scratch Win Smile game card.
You're guaranteed to win a $1, $5, $10, or $25 prize.
To redeem at Macy's Backstage at a later date.
Scratch and win.
What's not to smile about? Macy's Backstage. Savings for everyday life. Details at macysbackstage.com.